Well, folks, that one was just what the doctor ordered for the Vancouver Canucks after two straight losses for just the second time all season, and the first in about a month to the Flames and the Kraken, neither of which the Canucks looked really inspiring, although they are in a pretty tough part of their schedule, at least games played wise. They get just what the doctor ordered in the San Jose Sharks, who are obviously struggling, who have won 3 games all year out of 18, and the Canucks really just take care of business. They might not have taken the Sharks as seriously as I would have liked them to, especially in that first period. But the third period, even though they didn't do too much on the score sheet, I thought they really just turned around and dominated the game, especially coming off of that Höglander match penalty, which the Canucks had to do a pretty good job of killing off for the most part, except for the 1 goal against. So, as always, we'll break down this game, but while you're here, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, do all that good stuff. We're on the way to 5K. Let's get that going. Folks, let's start off with our breakdown. First period, Canucks get the first power play of the game. Garland gets a hard cross-check. He goes face first into the dasher. Really just 2 decent chances on this power play for the Canucks. There was that Besser, a little bump pass that Blackwood got a piece of. Blueger found a puck in tight. But honestly, the best chance of this power play goes the other way, which is not what you like to see against a team like the Sharks. 2-on-1, that power play 2 unit allows. Eklund takes a pass, goes backhand, and he has Demko beat. He just has him beat, and he misses. Like a really nice play. Those ones where on a 2-on-1, you pass over to the guy, and the guy then cuts across while the goalie's going the other way. He had the net wide open, but he missed. So we're still 0-0. Sharks had a really close chance in the last minute. Rebound hit the side of the net there. But honestly, the first period was pretty low event. Shots are 11-6 in favor of the Canucks. High danger chances, though, which is always a good metric to look at. At 5-on-5, at least 2-1 in favor of the Sharks, and for the whole period, just 3-3. So very, very low event hockey in the first period. We go to the second period, and a very slow start to this period as well. Like, there's a ton of whistles early on. Each team gets a pretty good chance. You have Giovanni Smith in tight on Thatcher Demko. You have Beauvillier in the slot that caught the shoulder of Blackwood and then the crossbar and went out. That, you'd love to see Beauvillier score. Seems like he can only get much going against the Sharks. So we maybe, if he could do something against some other teams, that would be nice. But hey, it's a start at the very least. Sharks do get on the board first temporarily. Eklund scores on this play. Zetterlund does a nice drive play, like a play that we would love to see, and something we've seen, especially from guys like Lafferty this year, and the Canucks have been pretty good with this. But Zetterlund drives the net. Both feet on replay are going dead through the crease. He clips Demko. Demko gets pulled out of the net. Eklund jams in the rebound. It's textbook goalie interference, which is why I was scared that they were going to call it a goal the entire time, because on the ice it was a goal, and who knows what goalie interference is sometimes. This one seemed like come on, are we really going to not call this one goalie interference? And they did. All credit to them. So it gets called back on review. And then after that, the Canucks start piling on the pressure. The Höglander line really taking it to the Sharks. And then with all that pressure coming on, Quinn Hughes just continues to be marvelous. Walks the line, goes from one point all the way to the other, makes it look like he's going to play it to Hronek. He doesn't. He just keeps it all the way, skates all the way around towards the net. And Blackwood is in so tight on the post, and is just expecting that shot where a guy comes in essentially down the goal line and tries to pick it right next to your head. Instead, Hughes just goes far post. It's a perfect shot. Far post. Blackwood really should have at least the glove up or something, but he doesn't. Perfect shot. 1-0 Canucks. He has obviously been fantastic. Sharks get a chance to come back, though. Ian Cole goes off for an interference penalty. This is actually a really good power play from the Sharks' perspective. The PK was struggling out there. I think Demko had to make 3 really good saves on this power play to keep the Canucks up by a goal. Canucks almost get one after the fact. You have Kuzmenko. Really nice steal on the forecheck. Just goes in, takes the puck away from the guy on the wall, and is now the last man in on the Sharks. He comes in tight, and he hits the crossbar. Just in probably 5 feet away from Blackwood. Goes off the bar. Chance to go up 2-0 there. And then we have the penalty. Niels Höglander and Kevin Labanc are battling on the wall. You can tell they're not happy with each other. They're giving each other a bit of a shot. And when I saw the play happen live on the TV, right? And I'm watching it before any of the slow-mo, and to me it looked like Labanc was the one who tried to take Höglander down. Then you look at the replay, it's like, okay, no, it looks like they're both jostling for position. And that's sort of where I stood on it. And then you look at the slow-mo, And then it looks like Höglander put the leg behind him, and then they jostled for position, and LeBanc went down with a bit of a slew foot. It's one of those things that happens so fast that I think technically it's a slew foot, which you obviously can't do. But it also happens so fast that I really don't know if it's intent to injure. They call it 5 so they can review it. And then they end up giving him a match penalty for intent to injure, which is, a very deliberate penalty and means that he'll get a phone call from the league and hopefully no more supplemental discipline, which I don't think he will. Because obviously LeBanc was hurt, and that's why the linesman came over and said, hey, this is one we should have a look at. But man, it really, to me, just felt like jostling for the puck. And I might be wrong. Again, it's one of those ones where you can't get in the mind of the players. But it looked like to me, at least at the time, that, they both were trying to give each other a bit of a shoulder. Höglander got the most of it and happened to get the leg behind him as well. Either way, though, they called it 5. I can see why they called it 5. And a game, which sucks for the Canucks, but they do a pretty good job on the PK. Honestly, it's about, I think, 2.5 minutes of that power play. Let me just check here. 1.5 minute of the power play in the second period. And the Canucks are doing a fantastic job of killing it off. And my thought, honestly, for this whole thing is, hey, get through the period. The odds of them scoring twice in 3.5 minutes is pretty low. Get through the second period. And what do the Canucks do except have Dakota Joshua, who had a very, very good hockey game tonight, makes a really good play on the boards to get the puck out of the zone. The Canucks get in on the forecheck, and then we end up with Teddy Bluger alone in the slot. His shot stopped by Blackwood, but he sold out to make that save. Lafferty's coming in from the side, and he's able to jam home the rebound with 0.7 on the clock. And that is a backbreaker for the San Jose Sharks, right? You're on this power play. You have a chance to tie it up going into the second, or at least, hey, you're down 1, but you have a 3.5 minute power play when play starts again. And you let that goal go in, right? With less than a second to go, you're going into the dressing room deflated. Now you need 2 when you're averaging less than 2 goals a game this entire season, let alone a period. It's a tough sell for the Sharks. So great play from the shorthanded unit. We love to see that. So 2-0 going into the third. Honestly, second period pretty even. Shots 13-10 for the Canucks. High danger chances 5-3 in favor of the Sharks. And if you go down to just 5-on-5, 4-1 in favor of the Sharks. The Canucks did have the shot attempt advantage, but I like high danger chances as a good metric for this one. Because honestly, the Canucks just didn't do much in the second period. However, they did score 2 goals, and somehow the Canucks in second periods constantly score goals this year. And they did it again tonight. And hey, if it works, it works. So we go to the third. And then the Sharks do end up getting 1 on that major power play. It's only 48 seconds in. Point shot hits Tyler Myers standing in front of the net. It looked like in the hands, I think. I thought it was the gut at first, but I think it was the hands. And he sort of goes oh, and is doing one of these. And then the puck drops right in front of him, and Timo Meier essentially swings right as the puck hits the ground and fires it in. I say Meier, I meant Hurdle if I said Meier. Either way, 2-1 for the Sharks. And then as this penalty is coming near to an end, Elias Pettersson goes on a nice little short-handed rush to kill off the last few seconds of this power play, ends up getting a shot. It gets deflected to the corner. And as he's skating to the bench, he looks around and he starts counting. And he counts 6 white jerseys on the ice. None of the refs saw it. No one else knew. And Pettersson stops, stands right at the Sharks bench, starts banging on the boards and yelling at the linesman to call too many men. I love that. Elias Pettersson draws so many penalties. He should get credit for drawing this one as well. So the Canucks go to the power play. They did absolutely nothing. I mean, power play 1 couldn't get settled in the zone on this one. Power play 2 ended up with a pretty good chance, sort of a bank pass off the boards. Bluger jammed it into the pad. He had a little bit of more time than he thought. He could have tried to go shelf on it, or at least just get it over the pad, but he fired it right at the pad of Blackwood. But hindsight's 2020, right? You're in that situation. The puck's there. You're just gotta score. Fire it as fast as I can because I got 3 guys on me, and a good save is made. Canucks do add a third a couple minutes later, about 5 minutes later. Great job. Actually, it's only about 3 minutes later. Great work by Philip Hronek on this play. On the blue line, just sort of walks the line. Like, it looks like he has no space on the left side. He just creates some space, skates down the line, gets to some open ice. He gets the puck to the wall to Quinn Hughes. He fires it right at JT Miller's stick, who gets the tip on net. The rebound comes right back to him, and he bangs it in to make it 3-1. JT Miller's got 12 goals, by the way. Brock Besser gets an assist because he got a piece of it in tight. Hronek doesn't get assist on a play, which he deserved, but either way, Canucks are up 3-1. Rest of the period's pretty low event. Once again, the Canucks are putting all the pressure on. You look at the shots in the third period, they're 14-12 for the Canucks, but that's not how the period felt at all, and the analytics back it up. High danger chances in the third period, 12 for the Canucks, who only had 6 across the first 2 periods, to 4 for the Sharks. So the Sharks had 3, 5, and 4, so about 4 a period, where the Canucks went 3, 3, 12 in the third period. They just turned it on. I don't know what was said in the dressing room after the second period, but they absolutely turned it on in the third, and they were just dominant. They were just absolutely dominant in the third period. Blackwood goes to the bench with 2.5 minutes to go to try to even things up. Demko makes a great save on Duclair, and then moments later, JT Miller, the puck comes out to a guy who has a pretty much a wide open chance to walk in and get a shot off on Demko. JT Miller slides in, gets the pads on it for a big block, which you love to see from a guy who, again, we've criticized his defense, especially last year, but this year he's been so good, and he's got the points to back it up too. So that was big. And then Hronek takes a high stick to the face with 90 seconds to go, which essentially wraps things up because the Canucks go to the power play. And I like that they tried to score on that power play as well. A little bit cheeky from the Canucks there. So a 3-1 get-right win for the Canucks, genuinely. Pluses and minuses for this game. Let's start with the minuses. Let's get those out of the way. Tyler Myers was a turnover machine today. Do they track turnovers in the box score here? I doubt it. They should. Tyler Myers was a turnover monster in this game. He probably turned the puck over like 7 times, which I did not love to see. And then also, it felt like for the first 2 periods, the Canucks were just trying to do too much. Like, they were trying so hard to make the extra pass, to get the guy wide open. It felt like they went up against this team in the Sharks and like, hey, we are the better team. We are going to just outclass them in every way. Instead of saying, hey, we're the better team, let's just go out, skate hard, get pucks on net, and just beat them, right? They just tried to do a little bit too much, and it backfired a little bit, especially in the first and for most of the second. I think the third period, they really changed that philosophy. They said, all right, we're just going to go out, and we're going to take it to them. We're going to play harder than them because we are better than them. This is a team that's won 3 games all year, and I think that was at least better in the third. My last minus is for the schedule. I mean, it's just a brutal schedule. I think it's something like 10 games in 17 days, this current stretch they're on. And I mean, you look at the calendar coming up, they play Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, so no rest whatsoever. They do get a 2-day gap after that game on Saturday, the 25th at the very least. Pluses for this game. Second period, score and goals. Fantastic. Again, those 2 goals, again, they didn't really play fantastic in the second period. They played a little bit better than San Jose, but they keep scoring goals in second periods. Quinn Hughes takes back the league lead in points solo. He's got 30 points this season. And the quote they had on TV, he is the second fastest Canuck in history to 30 points behind Tony Tanti, who did in 17 games. Pavel Bure never did this, right? None of the Sedins ever did this. Marcus Naslund never did this. No one other than Tanti. And by the way, Hughes is a defenseman, so throw that in there for good measure. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And my last plus of the game, and I want to take a look at the number here. Mark Friedman had 5 shots, and I think they were all in the first 2 periods. It's like that. It's like Danny DeVito. So anyways, I started blasting. That's Mark Friedman just was on a mission to get pucks on net tonight. I think he's had how many shots did he have coming in to the game? He had 8 shots coming into the game this season across 13 games. 5 tonight. He was calling for pucks. He has a pretty good shot too. He was just firing everything at the net. And I thought he had a pretty good game. Otherwise, that's sort of where I stand on this one. It was a get-right game for the Canucks. They had to have it. They did. Folks, I'll be live on Canucks After Dark at 10:30, probably right as you're finishing this. If you watched it when it went up, you can always jump in after the fact. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Wednesday night, I will be on SDPN for Game Over Vancouver. If it's a Canucks win, I might do a video here afterwards as well. And then for the game on Friday, I will be in Seattle for that one. So maybe if they do a win, maybe we do a little video from outside the outside climate pledge, which might be fun. Anyways, have a good night, and we'll see you after the next one.